people love the tier list and all of that. I made a tier list for the playoffs as we discussed. I want us to rank the teams in the playoffs as things are about to get underway, and just pick who we think are our champions. So we're gonna make our early on picks for that. Contenders, pick the frauds out and point those teams out, and also teams that may be a year away, teams that maybe are in the play-in and may get in, but might not have a long postseason after that. So I'll pull this up right now. It's on Tier Maker. I'll put the link for it in our bio here for you guys to make yourself. And yeah, let's get into it. There we go. All right, so here it is. We have our finals pick up top, Contenders, a year away, and frauds. Where do you want to start with this, Alec? Actually, I already know. We know who's first. Let's just go ahead and
that's exactly what I was going to say. It's easy to
go ahead and put them there. Now, after that,
that's step one. Like the entire league knows the Jazz is fraud. That's how sad it's become.
They know themselves too, which is worse than that. So yeah, we'll see how that plays. But Jazz definitely on the fraud list. They continue to have their struggles. They're a team that should be good with the dominant defender and Gobert as we see, and as well as Donovan Mitchell, who's the rising superstar, still there, but haven't been able to put it together and continue to have their woes in regular season. They've been falling apart in big games. I think it's going to continue yet again in these playoffs also. And yeah, I don't have high hopes for them either. So yeah, they're first on the board as fraud there. So who's next?
I got another one for you, and I know you're not going to like it, but another fraud for me is the Brooklyn Nets.
Wow, I'll put it there for you, but that's interesting. Explain that one.
So you didn't watch the play-in game last night, correct?
I saw a little bit of it, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So KD was great. Kyrie was sensational. Like, he was shooting 100%, like 11 of 11
first
at
half
halftime, and I think ended with close to 40 points, something like that. But they needed every bit of it. But the main hole is a gaping one. It's their defense, man. Like, they struggled. KD had to do everything for them defensively, and I don't think that's going to work when you have to play against teams like the Sixers or the Bucks or the Celtics. I think the Celtics put them out this first round, to be honest. The Celtics have the best defense in the league, and then they have Jason Tatum, who can keep up with KD and Kyrie, and then they have Jaylen Brown, who can get you 30. So I see them getting bounced first round. So I got to have them as fraud. I know they're only a 7 seed, so maybe that's just like how things should fall. But people have talked about them as championship contenders still, now that Kyrie's back. I don't see that. So
I definitely hear you in that and see how great the Celtics are. And we've given them their praise. I completely erased my Cleveland Records take on them, and I've given them respect, and we could consider them contenders and all of that. But I do think that the Nets can hang with them, even with KD having to do a lot of the work to maintain that. So I wouldn't necessarily call them frauds, in my opinion. I do because KD, like I just said, as well as Kyrie elevating his play in the playoffs. With him seem to be around for most of it. This go around, I think he will put forward great efforts. And also to your same point about the Celtics, as great as they are, not having Robert Williams is a big factor there. So
it is.
As great as they still may be, I think having that one less guy could help out the Nets a lot more than people realize, and it would definitely give you a competitive series. Now they still might lose in the first round to the Celtics, so I don't know if that still will count to you as a fraud. But I think it's going to be a competitive series either way.
Yeah, I think it's competitive too. But they're talked about, and going into the season, they're one of the 2 or 3 teams that can win the title. I was going to say too, they struggled with a Cleveland team that was depleted. Like, they didn't have Jared Allen.
Right.
And even with KD and Kyrie going nuclear, it was still down to the wire, like at the end of the fourth quarter. And shout out to Garland, who played really well. And Kevin Love played well off the bench. LeVert did his thing. But that's a team that they, in theory, should be dominating if they're going to be a title contender. And it came down to the wire. And I think, like you mentioned, Robert Williams, I think that's a key piece for the Celtics that they're going to miss on that defensive side. But Like with him in, I probably would have said Celtics in 5. Like I think they would get him out there quick. But with him out, I think it does go 7. I think it is still competitive because KD and Kyrie are such superpowers offensively. But I think the Celtics take them down in a close 6 or 7 game series.
Got you. So with that, I'll put contenders. I'll put Celtics in the contenders list.
Yeah.
Are they your finals pick? Possibly, should I put them that high or just
not
here?
Finals pick, but contenders?
Okay. All right, got you. So I hear you in that. Where to next? Who else you got on here?
Let's stick with Cleveland because we just talked about Cleveland a couple times. A year away for them.
Agreed. Yeah, they are fighting for that last play-in spot still, I believe, and are working their way out. But they had a very impressive regular season, even through all the injuries and all of that. Fought to the very end with the Nets and all of that. I think if they get in, they'll be their team that's a year away. They just got to get healthy and maybe one more piece there to fully round it out. But
if they stayed healthy this season, it would have been very interesting because Rubio.
I called them the NBA's Bengals. That's what I compared them to. But not looking like they're gonna have the same fate. So I put them in the year away category there. I agree with you. Yeah,
and then they got a rookie that's like in the running for. He should be on an all defensive team. So the sky's the limit going forward.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Are there any more frauds first?
Do you want to put the Bulls in the fraud category? Because I don't know where else to put them.
Well, simply because I think the injury bug really killed them.
Okay.
I don't think Lonzo even comes back.
Sure, but I guess to them being where they a top 3 seed, right, and potentially losing early.
Are they top 3?
Are they top 3? They may have fallen a whole lot more than that. Actually, my apologies, but a team that had very high hopes for a long while and looked very impressive.
They did.
Not having much success in the playoffs, it seems, because of injuries and all of that. If I had to put, I can't really say they're a contender anymore.
Right.
So it would have to be either a year away or a fraud.
No, they're the 6th seed right now. So
they've fallen a whole lot. So you want to just put them? We'll respectfully put them in the year away category.
I would say a year away.
If they stay healthy next year.
Yeah, they're better than the Cavaliers. I think they're slotted about how good as they are, like in the 6th seed. They could probably beat Toronto too, so they're about middle of the pack in the East right now.
Got you.
I think health is a concern for them, and maybe swapping Vucevic for a different center. Like Vucevic is good; he can get you what you need offensively, but defensively, like maybe a more defensive-minded center for them. Because they have Levine and DeRozan who can get you buckets. So
could that be the AD trade we're looking for? Could they do a Vucevic and somebody swap for?
It definitely could be. It definitely could be. I mean, because AD's from Chicago. So,
that's an interesting one. We'll see. Yeah. But we've done a lot of East teams already, so we'll stick with the East. Just looking at the list, we kind of can put Bucks. I put them contenders for now. If you want to put them as your finals pick, we'll get there at the end.
Because they are my finals pick.
Oh, then I'll go ahead and put them there. There we go. Yeah. I'll put them there. The Hawks, we'll put as a year away. I think they're in the playing team, right? Barely in there. A whole lot of work to do. They had high hope. They looked really good last year, but they have fallen apart somewhat this year. And while Trey has still been very impressive, and we'll talk about him and where he may rank for the all NBA things, the whole squad has not gotten right. So, I think a year away for them. And then the rest of the East, the Raptors, you want to put them as – that's an interesting one. Where you want to put the Raptors at?
That's an interesting – I feel like we need another category for them.
We can add one. You want to add one in?
Maybe.
What would that be? What would the next category be for this?
What would that be?
Because I felt like something was missing, but I couldn't figure out what to put there.
Yeah, I mean, because it's below contenders. Maybe it's like – because do you want to say like they're missing a piece?
That would be a year away then if that's the case.
Kind of, I mean, because a year away can cover like a few things. I think.
So we'll just put them there for now. But I see the fact that they could be, and I understand what you're saying about them. We need one more guy there to get them back up top. So I hear you there. Now here's a fun one. The Sixers. Where you got the Sixers at? Frauds or contenders there?
That's tough. I'm going to say frauds just because we've seen Doc Rivers' track record. And James Harden over the last 10 games has been shooting horrendously.
I don't trust Doc.
It's been really bad.
I don't trust James. While I love Embiid, just the guys he has around him,
Embiid's
I
still
don't
great.
think won't help him out enough to get him to the finals as he may hope that they do. So I have to put them there as well.
Yeah, I think they got to be.
A lot of folks are saying the player with the most pressure on him is James Harden. I wholeheartedly agree with that. With all the pressure that all the movement he's done these last few years and trying to maneuver to get to the place he can feel most comfortable and perform, to finally be in a spot where he claims to be that, and having high hopes in them, saying this might be the best tandem since Kobe and Shaq and all of the stuff we saw early on. For him to not perform at to that, even close to that standard so far has been disappointing, and we'll see how he performs in the playoffs. So
the Harden Kobe comparison has always been disrespectful to Kobe.
Yeah, I mean he's a top 5 shooting guard all the time, so sure we'll give you that. But
maybe.
Yeah,
10 for sure.
Once you get into that top 2, top 3, that's a different era up there, and he's not there yet. So we'll see if he can change that this postseason. So I got them as frauds as well for the moment. Hopefully I'm wrong for Joel Embiid's sake, but it is what it is. And then who else is over there in the East? Anybody? Oh, the Hornets. They're a year away, correct? Oh, and the Heat. I'll put the Heat as where? Contenders, correct?
Heat are contenders. Yeah.
Okay. Heat there. Hornets are a year away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, cool. There we go. That's all the East teams there. And now for the West, how are you going to put the West teams?
Well, okay. Easy one. Grizzlies put as contenders.
Agreed.
Suns, probably my finals pick. It depends on Steph, though. So we can put them contenders for now and discuss.
I put them because I agree that my finals pick also. I think both teams run it back and get a rematch there. So we'll leave that there for the moment. And if something changes our mind going forward, we'll readjust. Yeah. So that's there for now.
Warriors contenders. I think that's
any chance that they're frauds?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Like let's see, they're 3 seed, right? So they're gonna match up with the Nuggets. I think they get the Nuggets out of there.
Okay.
The second round gets tough for them, but I like their experience. And
gotcha.
I'm believing that Steph's gonna be healthy. If Steph's not healthy, then it's a problem. But healthy Steph,
okay. I agree with you there. Just checking.
Yeah, because then they got the 3 back. Like then they got Steph, Clay, and Draymond back. So T-Wolves a year away.
Hey, salute to them though. I'm so happy for them to get in there. I know I talk about the Kings a lot as my kind of second team that I root for a whole lot. I'm also though, as I mentioned a few times, I'm a big fan of D'Angelo Russell, and I'm also become a big fan of Anthony Edwards, and also with him being there, Karl Anthony Towns on the Timberwolves squad. So I've been rooting for them a whole lot throughout the season, and glad they made it. I was very happy to see how they were celebrating all of that after beating the Clippers a couple nights ago. What do you think about them? You think they celebrated too much after that game? You think Pat went too far, or what?
I understand the emotion from Patrick Beverley just because the Clippers didn't want to pay him what he felt he was worth, and he decided to go elsewhere, and then that ends up being the team that he bounces from that playing game. So I understand the emotion, but it got a little crazy when he was standing on top of the scorer's table, throwing his jersey to the crowd, crying.
A lot of emotion there.
Cat was over there kissing Jordan Woods after a terrible performance on the floor.
Yeah, don't do that again.
It was, it looked kind of nasty. It was funny because NBA on TNT was roasting them. They put the One Shining Moment music.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's foul. That was so foul.
I was crying. They're really doing all this for a 7 seed, but I understand from Minnesota, the fans to be excited.
Exactly.
They haven't been in the playoffs in a while. I guess since that Jimmy Butler team where he kind of drugged them to the playoffs. But before that, it's been a real long time. And they probably get bounced quickly by the Memphis Grizzlies, but salute to them, like you said, for getting there. It was kind of a coming out party for Anthony Edwards, just in more of the limelight there and kind of a playoff atmosphere. D'Lo had a great game. They needed that.
Give that man his respect. People got real quiet on D'Lo, but D'Lo's still cooking, man.
Cat talked a lot of cash talk, but looked pretty dang terrible in that game last night. So he's gotta show us something in this first round.
Any chance they upset the Grizzlies?
I don't think so. Shaq and Charles were talking about how the pressure is on the Grizzlies just because like this will be the first time that they're like favored to win a series.
Sure.
This is the first year that they have like real expectations behind them. But I think the expectations are warranted because they are a really good basketball team.
Right.
And I think they have the most talented player in the series in Ja Morant, and then a very deep roster at the wing position, especially. But Jaren Jackson Jr. has been solid as well. Like we've talked about, even without Ja, they've gone like 20-2 or 20-3, something like that.
Right.
So they're just a well-constructed team. Like that's what that tells you. Not that they're better without Ja, but that they're constructed to win in many different ways.
Exactly.
So I don't really see a chance for the T-Wolves in this series.
They have split the regular season series. D'Angelo Russell, I believe that they showed, has dropped like 30 a game when they played. Also, to your point you made a while ago, you talked about how this Grizzlies squad might get humbled by a vet in the playoffs. They might come across a vet who is done with the barking and shuts them down.
Yeah.
What happens though when they come across another dog that doesn't know any better, like the Timberwolves are, like a team that doesn't know any better either and are just hungry themselves, and end up battling against them? You don't think that can cause some issues for them? Both squads just going at each other real tough?
No, I think they beat the pulp out of them. Kind of like how the Jazz did the Grizzlies last year. I think they get them out of there pretty quickly. I do like Ant a lot. I'm not huge on Cat. Like Cat's great, but I'm not huge on him like in a playoff scenario either. D'Lo's got the ice in his veins, so it's possible that like he pops up. Like you said, he's averaged 30 in their 4 games playing each other. So I think they can. I think they can make it competitive, but I don't think they can like close out these games against the Grizzlies. I think they're just a better team. They have a little bit of playoff experience already, and they have the better like top end talent. So
I'm not gonna lie, I hate that. Not hate. Shaq and Chuck kind of stole my thunder because I was ready to come in here and get my own Pat Beverly off, to be honest. But they already kind of did their thing and talked about how they could see them winning this series. I actually think the same thing. I think this Timberwolves squad, I know you're not as high on a few guys, Cat and others, but I think they actually can put up a really valiant effort against them and actually steal the series from them and rooting for them to do so. I love this Grizzlies squad, as we've all pointed out all season long. I definitely understand that if they get by them, have high hopes and could very well be contenders or finals guys or whatever. But I think that this first round is going to be a very tough matchup for them. And I'm going to be impressed if they do get by. So, yeah, I'm going with the Timberwolves in this one. There is some bias in there. I am going to go with the Timberwolves in this series.
So the Grizzlies are frauds to you?
It's weird that they're not. Yes and no. I guess it's just because of the matchup that they end up faced with. Same thing with the Celtics and the Nets there, where it's like I think both those teams technically are contenders, but one team has to lose. So I guess if that makes them a fraud, then technically yes. But I do think they both are solid squads there. In that same way, I think the Grizzlies are a contender, but it's going to be a very tough battle for them to get past this Timberwolves squad in my eyes. So I'll keep the Grizzlies in that contender spot. But yeah, I'm rooting for the Timberwolves to win this series though. So I'm excited for it. I'll let you pick though where you want to put them. A year away, you'll say for them?
For the Wolves, yeah, a year away.
Okay. So we'll put those there. Then for the rest of the squads, what do you think of Luka? Luka just got hurt the other day, calf strain. You think that changes their fate?
That's tough because like that's a similar injury to like KD, like that he had before he tore his Achilles. So it's a tricky one, and he could easily like strain it again. So
yeah,
that's a tough look. But even with them healthy, I didn't see them as contending. They still, with Luka, haven't won a playoff series.
Right.
I think they can do that this year, but I don't think they can go 2 or 3 rounds. So I'm going to say that they're a year away still.
Mm-hmm. People had high hopes for the Clippers. We all saw with Paul just coming back, and those first 2 games, he was looking really good. Then got in the play-in tournament, and as we just saw, lost to the Timberwolves. Does that make them frauds again, or you think they are a year away?
Who? I'm sorry. Are you talking about the Clippers?
Yeah, sorry.
Um, That's interesting because them losing that game last night was a little bit surprising to me.
Correct.
Because I would have maybe had them contending, but that game does change kind of how I view them.
Yeah, they're frauds to me. I'm gonna put them here for now, and then you can consider keep thinking on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible they don't even make the playoffs. Too,
exactly. So
I don't know if I really call them frauds, but I get for the purpose of this list, I guess. But like, because if they make it in, they're the 8 seed, so
right.
I don't really know that that's like fraudulent.
But we know they're the 8 seed because of injuries and things like we talked about with the Nets. So it's kind of the same thing there also. So if the Nets are frauds and things like that, I think that the Clippers can count as that as well. So
it also will look a little nasty if like the Clippers get to the second or third round too, and we have them on the fraud list. So
that's fine. Hey, then I'll salute to them. The Nets could do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sixers could. They all could change the fate there. It's very possible. But for our pick, for how things seem, I'm fine with who we have in those categories.
We definitely need like another category because some of the year away teams are like in different tiers to me.
That's fine. If you think of how to put it, then we can change it up.
Like the Pelicans, I guess I would put them in a year away right now, but I don't see them winning next year either. So like I don't see a real possibility of them winning next. Same with like the Hornets. Same with the Hawks at this moment. I don't see it. Yeah.
Nuggets kind of frauds, I guess we'll put them there.
I don't think the Nuggets are frauds.
So you're a year away then.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like I think the year away category needs to be broken into two.
I'm fine with that. Depends on how you want to phrase it.
Yeah, I just don't know how you want to phrase it. I mean, we can kind of like order these teams like on this level if you want.
Sure.
So like the best team here, Mavs or Nuggets?
Nuggets.
The Nuggets had the best player.
Mavs. Cavs. Bulls.
I think the Bulls are ahead of the Cavs for me. Yeah, the Raptors got to be higher. Yeah, Spurs bottom.
Pelicans, Hornets, Hawks, Raptors, Timberwolves, Cavs. That'll be the order then. Yeah.
Something like that. I might have the Pels above the Hornets, but
I'm fine with that.
I'm splitting hairs.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So there we go. I can't think of what phrase to put in there. But for now, we ranked it within that tier there. 4 teams that are a year away. And I guess that is our picks. What do you think of the Bucks and Suns finals picks there? Are you cemented on that?
Yeah, I think like it's not as fun to kind of call a repeat of last year's finals.
Sure.
I could definitely see the Warriors instead of the Suns. But I don't see anyone in the East other than the Bucks to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Heat can give them trouble, but because Bam is like probably the best matchup for Giannis, and they're just a really good team. I think they ended up with I want to say the first, so they still ended up with the 1 seed.
Right.
I think they probably give the Bucks the most trouble between the Heat and the Celtics. But I just think Giannis, it's Giannis's league to me, so I really don't see anyone in the East taking them down.
I agree.
And Drew and Middleton can turn up also in a playoff setting. So, the only other team I could see getting in there is the Warriors to me.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. I don't have any disputes. I'm trying to think of what am I not seeing that could jump and switch around that, but I think that really is how it's going to end up. I might actually just for our own entertainment, the last thing I will put, I'll do a hot take and put the Warriors above the Suns. Today is a hot take, And
just to make Phoenix fans angry.
Just to make Phoenix fans angry. I'll obviously stamp that and put the Warriors as our top pick there. But yeah, definitely can see that going either way, and looking forward to how these things play out. We're here on Wednesday. There's some playing games about to go down tonight. Then the playoffs will get started over the weekend. And so looking forward to how all of that gets rolling. And yeah, we'll see how well this list progresses throughout the playoffs here. So
yes,
great things there. Really enjoyed that. Let us know you guys' picks in the comments and all of that. Again, the link will be there for you guys to make your own list as well. And yeah, that's definitely a fun one.